Just let me know when you have accepted the recording.
Accepted.
I'm good.
Okay. So, Salam, my name is Sabrina Auda. I am doing interviews, conversations on behalf of Many Cultures, One Community, or MCOC. And I'm very excited for today's discussion that I will be having. And I would love for the both of you to introduce yourselves. So not sure who wants to go first, but feel free to give us a little intro.
Thank you so much for having us. So I'm Saja. I'm from the Pacific Northwest. I grew up in Tacoma, Washington. I moved to the South, to Arkansas, when I got married, and then 3 years later, we ended up moving closer to family, and I currently live in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm a Palestinian American, and I'm the founder and co-owner of Amasi Decor.
Yeah, and my name is Saja, also Palestinian American. I was actually born in Amman, Jordan, but I was raised all over the world, all over the US and Canada. Volunteering is an important part of my life, and so I'm actually on the board of the Memphis Islamic Center in Memphis, Tennessee, where I currently live. I'm also starting my third year of school for a degree in clinical mental health counseling. And about 4 years ago, I co-founded Amasi Decor.
Awesome. So could you tell us a little bit more about Amasi Decor, what you all do? And I know that there's a really cool little feature in your organization that I read on. So if you could tell the viewers more about it, that would be great.
Awesome. So we are a minority-owned small business, and we are an online retailer, and we also offer wholesale for Ramadan and Eid decorations. Our ultimate goal with Amasi is to make Ramadan and Eid more mainstream, especially for families and Muslims in America. With that special feature you were talking, we do donate 4% of every purchase to an organization called Rise Against Hunger. And we ultimately, wanted to make that an integral part of our, company, which is giving.
The last part cut out a little bit. You said you wanted to make it an integral part of your company, and what was the last part?
Yeah, so we donate 4% of every purchase to an organization called Rise Against Hunger. We picked Rise Against Hunger because we feel like that closely with Ramadan and the essence of Ramadan. So, sorry, I'm like blanking. I'm gonna just say that again. So, yeah. We donate 4% of every purchase to Rise Against Hunger, an organization that is aiming to eradicate world hunger. And we're excited to, I'm so sorry, I'm like blanking. So if you want to say that part, go for it.
So regarding that special feature that you mentioned, we, giving back is something that we wanted to incorporate in our mission from day one. And so we decided to partner with a nonprofit organization, Rise Against Hunger. And so we donate 4% of every purchase back to that organization. We just felt like Rise Against Hunger was something that aligned really closely with, with what we do with being a Ramadan and Eid company. And we felt like hunger kind of aligned really well with that. So, yeah.
Awesome. I really love supporting organizations that have that kind of component. So I really wanted to highlight that because I know that a lot of people, especially now, it's becoming more of a, it's more common, I guess, in a lot of businesses where they'll say, buy this and then we'll donate this. So I'm very drawn to it. Another thing that I think that it's like, it all comes together the way it's supposed to. This last Ramadan, as you were saying, you wanted to make Ramadan and Eid more mainstream. I was looking for decorations for my home for so long. And, my husband recently converted to Islam. So he spent most of his childhood decorating for Christmas with his family. And he loved that component to Christmas, like getting together with family and decorating. And it was so difficult to find stuff to compare to how much there is for Christmas.
Right.
So I'm really excited that you all are trying to make that more mainstream, because I think it's a great thing for families to do together, for the kids to get excited about. So that's really cool. I really like that.
Definitely. Soha and I, we're super passionate about our work, and, being born and raised, like you said, I felt experience, and I felt like, Christmas and all the other holidays were so exciting and special that, I was like, Ramadan and Eid is supposed to be a big part. It has such a huge, important role in our life. So, we initiative to make it big.
Yeah, I love that. Let's move on to the next question. I think it really ties well with the way that your business came about. And we all find our motivation from somewhere, right? And for a lot of us, it creates this passion inside of us to build something great or work in a certain career field, or whatever that case may be. And I feel like it seems like you all have found your passion. And so if you want to talk a little bit about how that passion plays a part in your everyday life with your business, and then how did you, what were the steps that you all took to make it into a career field?
So, we feel very blessed that we're able to do something that we feel passionate about and to make a career out of it. I think there are several components that go into it. For one, this was like, for me, I wanted, like you said, I wanted my family to have a place and a way to celebrate our holidays and to not feel left out. And so I didn't see that out there. And so I felt like I wanted to provide that. But also, this has been just a really nice creative outlet for me. And so I enjoy doing this work. I enjoy creating. It brings me joy and fulfillment. And I think one of the ways that we were able to kind of bring that, our passion, like work with our passion, or be able to find a career through our passion, is that we took elements that were really important to us, like, as we mentioned, with giving back, and we incorporated that into our mission and the company's mission. And so, feeling like, yes, we're able to do something that we love, we're seeing great results. We're seeing that our families and other families are, able to celebrate the Muslim holidays a little bit more easier. There's more access to it, but then also we're able to give back and feeling good about that purchase as well. So that's one of the ways that for me. But I think, I feel like we're both really lucky, and I know that I'm really blessed to have a strong support system to help me kind of do this work. And I appreciate my husband being really patient about just the crazy work hours that come with owning a small business and giving me that space because work hours are all over the place, especially with kids.
Yeah. It's funny because my husband, on my free time, I'm working on a Massey, and he's like, "What are you doing? Where are you? What are you up doing?" I work better at night because that's when my babies are. So he's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Alhamdulillah, this is what it's about." And he's been supportive and, like Soha said, giving space. So that's super helpful. But I do want to mention that the something about the passion and the passion that we have behind our work, it's just something where when our customers send us pictures or express how joyful our decorations and our products made Ramadan and Eid for their family, it's something, it makes you feel like, what's the word, it's
motivated.
It's heartwarming to see that our products go further than just a party decoration, but you know, it's something that's making Muslims feel like they have something that belongs to them, and you know, strengthening the Muslim identity where they're proud to decorate, they're proud to celebrate, and you know, they don't feel anymore.
Yeah, that's really amazing. I'm glad that you were able to create something that is going to become a passion for other people as well, and that it's very contagious. You know, I think that when people really love what they do, it shows, and other people are able to feed off of it, and they can enjoy the, even if it's not a product, if it's a service, or you know, whatever the case may be. I think being able to have like that passion in your work is really incredible. um, let's switch to getting to know you all a little bit better. I think that something really how do I say this? I think something that allows us to also find our way in life is the people around us, or the people that we see growing up and all of that kind of stuff. So if you all could choose someone that you feel has been the most influential person in your life, who would it be and why?
You know, it's honestly, it's really hard to name just one person. I believe and I feel that every person that comes into my life has come in for a specific purpose and has helped me grow in some way, even if that growth happens through adversity. But you know, I do feel really blessed, alhamdulillah, to have a really strong support system and a lot of people that I can kind of lean on for help. And if I really had to, you know, choose one person, as cliche as it would be, I would say my mom. She's definitely like truly a gem in this world, and I tell her all the time. I tell her, you know, I hope I can become just half the woman that you are. She's a huge influence on my life. I love how she's extremely giving, caring, and really selfless. And she's definitely my number one person that I go to when I face conflict or adversity, because I know that she's not going to tell me what I want to hear. She's going to tell me what I need to hear, and it's going to come from a place of wisdom. So I think she's definitely had the most influence on me throughout my life. I would, you know, definitely my mom.
Yeah. I love Khalta. For me, I think it would, going off of what Suha said, definitely my mom as well. She even passed on the passion that she has with raising us, and you know, with our upbringing in America, and you know, being a Muslim, and you know, strengthening our Muslim identity. My mom would definitely be also one of like the driving forces for my company, and why I'm passionate about, you know, decorating for Ramadan. And she made it so special, and she was the type of person that would make things and decorate the house from nothing, and she, you know, was so creative and basically the light of the house. So props to my mom, and shout out to amazing moms out there. Alhamdulillah, like we're so blessed, you know, there as our support system.
And it's so interesting because subhanallah, both of, you know, it's just really interesting that both of our moms had such a great influence on us to start this company, because of, you know, them really trying to go out of their way to make our holidays as kids really special. And so we just, it was really natural for us to be looking for something like that for our families. So I think that's really special.
Yeah, that is really nice to hear. I know that my family, I grew up with all my cousins around, and aunts and uncles and my grandma all in the same, like within 10 minutes of each other.
Amazing.
So growing up, I never really felt like I wanted to celebrate any other holidays in the US, but you know, watching my younger sister who's 11, and the rest of us are way older than her, she doesn't have all of those cousins around and all of that family to come on, you know, our Eid celebrations or anything like that. So I definitely see where the parents have to come in and make it more special. And so shout out to the parents that do that. make it more fun, you know, for the kids. So I think that with with the component in your business where you are giving back, you found an organization that has identified a problem in our world, and is seeking to have a sustainable solution for it. If you could change one thing in the world, would it be hunger, or would it be something else? It could be for the world, could be for really anything, but I know that your business is directly aligned with hunger, so I wanted to see if there's anything else that you are passionate about changing in this world.
So yeah, definitely hunger is something that we are, hoping to change, and inshallah we're shooting to, play our role in that. Another I think long and hard about, which I would love to change about the world, is just treating people with kindness. I feel like you never know what someone's going through, and just simple act like smiling can change someone's day. And I really sometimes just sit back and think that, like, okay, if someone's treating me with disrespect or being rude, I try to shift that mindset, think, okay, maybe it's not me, maybe it's them, maybe they're something, they're having a rough time. So I think ultimately, if all of us, whether it's, when it comes to race or, your neighbor, so many different aspects, if you just bring in kindness, so much.
Yeah, I think the world would be just a much better place if everybody was a little bit kinder to each other. For sure, even though it's a small act, it would make a huge difference overall.
Even like a smile, like honestly, just sometimes I would be having a bad day, and when I'm walking out with my daughter, just smiles and says, "Hey, how are you?" Like it's a small act of kindness, but it can have such a huge impact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely love seeing when people have a smile on their face and how contagious it can be, because like you said, you never know what somebody's going through, and maybe seeing that one smile that day, or maybe that one person saying hello to you, will get you out of that that space that you're in, or that make you shift your mindset from where you were earlier. So I like that, treating people with kindness or a smile. So if you were to give one piece of advice to those listening, what would it be?
I think one thing that I would say is to always push yourself to grow, and to really listen to your intuition, listen to your gut. I remember a few years back, I had this feeling of emptiness, and I couldn't understand where that was coming from, because things looked good from afar, but there was this gap that I felt that I had. And I think it was just me kind of not feeling fulfilled, not knowing really what my purpose was. And I listened to that, and I wanted to seek that. And I feel like I've definitely followed my passion, and honestly haven't looked back since. And so I really would push people to listen to that. If you're feeling a void, or if you're feeling something nagging at you, introspect and listen to that. I think especially as women, we tend to underestimate our values and talents, and what we bring to the table. And sometimes we end up missing out because we're just too scared to try something, or we worry that we're not going to be enough. And I say to kind of push that aside and listen to yourself and go for it.
Definitely. I think something I want to add to what you're saying is, not to be intimidated, or to have that mindset where, just be open-minded, ready to learn, and be surprised with what you can achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And professionally, from like that standpoint, as business owners, Soha and I have, actually, I don't think we knew what we got ourselves into when we decided on company, because there's so many things that go on in the back, and it was definitely, and it still is, a learning curve for both of us. And alhamdulillah, we're just taking it one at a time, entering something with an open mind, and being ready to learn and ask questions is honestly the key to success, because we have growing ever since then, and we're just accepting the hardships that are coming with running a business, but at the same time learn and, you know, tackle those, you know, problems that we run into.
Yeah, it's definitely like just to remind ourselves that it's really okay to not know everything. Because I know Saja and I came in, we have zero business background. We're coming in more as like, you know, we have the passion, we have the creative aspect of it, we have that drive, but we definitely like had a lot of learning to do as well. And it's been great though overall. As tough as it has been, I think we've become much better people out of it.
Yeah, I really love that. The idea of pushing yourself to grow, as soon as you said that, it made me think of how scary that is to take that next step, or to push yourself out of something that is comfortable for you. And I think that when you said don't be intimidated, or not to be intimidated by it, that's so true. If you just, you know, if you tried, the worst that could happen is that it didn't succeed, and then you're on to your next, you know, your next big idea, your next chapter in life. And I think that a lot of folks kind of stop themselves from doing really great things in life because they think they're not enough. And I love that you brought up women, because I think that we as women need to believe in ourselves a little bit more. And it's kind of sad that we have to do all of this work as adults, and kind of taking away what society has trained us to think about what women can do and what we're able to do, and reshift that and say, you know what, I can be enough, and I'm going to succeed in this. And just having that shift in mindset. And I really like how you both highlighted how you had no idea what you were getting what you were getting yourself into, and just having that humility to say, you know what, I'm going to learn. I'm gonna like put my ego to the side, and I'm going to learn how I can do this, and from people that have done it in the past maybe. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I love how you tied that together, and yeah, you just need to kind of push away that fear, because I think the biggest regret that you can have in life is not trying something. And I remember I would remind myself of that whenever I'm facing like a wall or a hurdle, or it just feels like, is this worth it? It's like, you know, if I don't do it, I'm gonna look back and regret that I didn't do it. And so, you know, sometimes push that fear aside and keep going, because you don't know what will come out of it.
Definitely. I have really enjoyed talking to both of you. I wanted to just end on maybe a quote, or a quote maybe that you believe represents yourselves or your business, or maybe, you know, the current state that the world is in right now, or whatever the quote may be, or where you want to see the world in maybe 5 years. So I don't know if you have anything at the top of your heads, but I just wanted to end with that.
If you want to go, Saha, or
I mean, you can go.
Sorry. For me, especially with what's going on with the world, and, you know, being safe at home with my daughter and my son. I have a 3-year-old and a almost 2-year-old.
Wow.
It's been rough, and trying to get work done and being productive. So for me, I think a quote that I read, it was like literally at the peak of Corona. It was like April, when things were getting really thick and crazy, and I stumbled upon the quote, "Don't let the day challenge you, you challenge the day." And it really gave that mindset where it's like, okay, I'm not gonna, you know, feel like today is dragging me. I'm gonna feel pushing through today, and I'm making the most out of it, and I'm, you know, seeing, instead of get anything done today, it's like, okay, let me see how much I can get done and how much I can do. And, you know, just shifting that mindset where wake up in the morning and just remind yourself, don't let the day challenge you, you challenge the day, and see where it takes you.
That's great. For me, one quote that I came across a few years ago, and I remember I like had to stop what I was doing and I wrote it down, because I think it speaks to me. And it's by Brene Brown. It's sometimes the most uncomfortable learning is the most powerful. And that's something that I consistently remind myself of, because really there is no growth without discomfort, and we have, like, you know, you have to get out of your comfort zone in order to flourish. And I've used that since I've heard it a lot, you know, definitely like putting myself in situations that are a little bit uncomfortable, but I know that I will grow and I'll become a better person out of it.
Wow, I love both of your quotes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I really enjoyed, like I said, I really enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed getting to know you all better, and I hope that our viewers will take as much out of it as I have today. And hopefully I will be ordering from your site very soon.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed
I
this.
appreciate the support and you having us, and you know, it was a wonderful time talking.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, I am going to end the recording.